So, first one, no manual.
Why would you want a manual?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of arguments about this.
Fine, bring it.
Fine, bring it.
GTI TCR is for people that want a bit more power than the standard GTI but don't want to go far. Said no one ever, but realistically the TCR has been designed for people that want to take their car on track, and this is a great example. TCR stands for Touring Car Racing, which is a series that Volkswagen performed really well in, and this car has been inspired by the track car. Really, this car is for Volkswagen fans which have too much money and just want a slice of Volkswagen history. Starting with the front of the TCR, it's got an additional front splitter. Now 18-inch wheels are standard on this car, but this one's been spec'd with the 19-inch Reifnitz wheels. I said that right! Didn't
yes! Take 10.
The Reifnitz wheels, these are 19, and they come also with the slip differential standard on the TCR. The front brakes are the same size as the Golf R and are drilled to improve ventilation, as well as performance brake pads. Now you can opt for a little bit lairier decals on the side of the car. This one's actually been spec'd without it, so it's a little bit more subtle, but you do still have the TCR at the bottom here. This one's also finished in pure grey, which is a limited colour specific to the Golf GTI TCR, which I think looks absolutely amazing. Coming round to the rear of the car, you've got a much beefier rear splitter. As well as your spoiler on a spoiler. The one thing I'm very slightly disappointed with this car is that they haven't opted to put TCR on the back next to the GTI badge. I really think that would have added an extra something. There is an option to have carbon fibre door mirrors, but the standard matte black goes so well with the wheels, why would you bother? Under the bonnet is a 2-litre turbocharged engine which produces 290 PS and 380 Nm of torque. Them stats are identical to that of the Clubsport, but the TCR does have a quicker 0 to 60 time at 5.6 seconds. So limited to the TCR, you've got these lovely seats. So they're a mix between an Alcantara suede like in the Golf R, but also a twist on the Jaccara seats in the GTI with this limited edition checked seats, which I think is lovely. You also have, of course, your little red stripe on the steering wheel. But other than that, everything is fairly similar to that in the standard GTI. But that is the good thing about the TCR. There's no compromise. With the Clubsport, you really had to compromise your comfort and your interior. But with this one, there's hints that there's something a little bit special, but it's still super easy to live with. Right, so one huge benefit of having a Volkswagen fan like Joe is he's the perfect mix of, he loves this car, he works for Volkswagen, so he's kind of got to be a little bit nice about the things that aren't particularly brilliant about this car, but also he does genuinely like it. So these are his honest opinions. But we're going to do a little bit of a spill the tea on the things that people have said about the TCR. So, first one, no manual.
Why would you want a manual?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of arguments about this.
Fine, bring it. It has a manual, you have paddle shifts, you know, it's got engine braking when you shift down. It can shift gear a lot quicker than with a manual. Don't get me wrong, I love a manual gearbox, but I could take either, to be honest with you. I wouldn't care.
What about the guy that said everyone from the waist down is dead if they like a DSG?
Maybe I'm dead from the waist down, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like I am anyway, you know. I just think there's a different driving pleasure to be had from both, but they're both equally good. I'm really not fussed. You know, like I said, if there was a manual version available and I drove the manual, I'd love that equally as much. I'm really not fussed. Doesn't make any difference to me.
Do you think it's a shame that Volkswagen have ditched the manual box on all of their performance cars?
I do, yeah, I do. You know, certainly coming from the background I have with a lot of the classic Volkswagens that I drive, like my Corrado and the Mark II Golfs I've had in the past and that kind of thing. You know, I do love a manual gearbox, but it is the way things are going to go. You know, everything's moving towards auto boxes with paddle shifts on sportier cars. You know, look at the supercars. That's where this whole technology's kind of come from. So, you know.
And really, to be honest, it's very much like you appreciate this car so much because you've got your other older manual box cars that you get to enjoy, that then when you come into this, which is obviously a DSG, although it's still a performance car and it's leery and you love it, it's still got loads of like comfort as well.
Exactly, yeah. You know, if you do want to just, I wouldn't say switch off, that's maybe the wrong term to use when you're driving, obviously, but you know, when you're going through town and in traffic, yeah, it's just nice, put it in auto, takes care of itself. You know, the technology's there for a reason because it's nice. And
so second question is also about the auto box.
Yeah.
So I've heard that when you put the car into manual and you obviously use your paddle shifts, it still switches up for you if you hit a certain amount of revs.
I've not found that.
You haven't?
I haven't found that. Maybe I haven't been letting it rev enough. I mean, it's only got 500 miles on the clock, so, you know, I have been taking it easy, as you can imagine, while it's been running. I mean, one thing I would say on the auto manual debate is, you know, doing the job that I do, we do get a lot of people moaning about not being able to get a manual gearbox, but funnily enough, the vast majority of performance cars we sell have got the DSG gearbox in them, even when there is a manual option. So
yeah.
When it comes to buying a car, a lot of people just plump for the DSG,
so
which
it's
I
like
think speaks for itself.
like something that people like to complain about, but then when it actually comes around to it,
exactly. You know, it'd be interesting, the people that complain about it, if they were going to buy one, what they would actually buy with their own money.
So to be fair as well, touching on the point that obviously it's saying that it changes up for you, quite clearly it is not made any difference to your driving at all. If it was something that you was supposed to be annoying that it changed up for you, clearly that has not been an issue.
Sure, I mean, if it does, it's news to me. I haven't even noticed it do that. So, you know. But like I said, I haven't been pushing it hard, as you can imagine. It's only got 500 miles on the clock. So, you know.
Fab. So, for 2k more, you could get a Golf R. Why wouldn't you?
The simple answer is this gives you the performance of a Golf R, but with the driving pleasure of a GTI. You know, I'm not going to sit here and slate the Golf R. I absolutely love the Golf R. As a driving machine, it's a phenomenal thing. But for me, as a driver, I've always plumped for the GTI because I found that a more pleasurable driving experience. The Golf R, if you want to go fast, brilliant. But if you want to go fast and have driving pleasure at the same time, this is definitely the car. 100%.
Fabulous. So you like it then?
Love it. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a good thing to point out as well, I know I mentioned earlier, that this car has almost identical brake horsepower and torque to that of the previous GTI TCR, but it is faster, even though it's heavier, because it's got more in it than the TCR, than the Clubsport. But it is faster, it does do a faster, and that is probably down to the DSG box, because the Clubsport only come in manual. So this one being in a DSG is probably what makes it quicker. But Joe did also have a Clubsport. So how do you think this compares to the Clubsport?
There's no comparison. This blows the Clubsport out of the water.
Okay.
I love it. You know, you've got all the power all of the time, whereas with the Clubsport, you know, it would only hit the 290 at certain points, whereas this, you've got all the power all the time. The Clubsport for me didn't feel that much different to a standard GTI. I mean, the Clubsport S, I never actually got to drive one of those because I've only ever seen one in my entire life and it was sold, so I didn't get a chance to drive it, so I can't really compare the Clubsport S, but certainly the standard Clubsport model, I find vastly superior.
Fab. And then also as a comparison, your previous car before this was then a GTI Performance.
Yeah.
So how have you found this compared to the Performance?
That was a manual car. Probably shouldn't mention that, should I? Just worlds apart. This is not just a GTI with more power, which I think a lot of people probably think it is. It feels totally different. You know, it feels different to a normal GTI. It feels different to an R. It's kind of in a league of its own. You just got to go out there and drive one and see it for yourself. You know, don't take my word for it. Come and have a test drive.
Yes.
You can drive this one. It's fine. Come and drive it.
Although that means that you do have a danger of it then being sold.
I know.
Because how long have you been waiting for this? 4 weeks? How long?
When did we order it?
Joe had to sell his previous car before he was allowed to put this one on the road.
So I was waiting 3 months for this, I think it was, something like
What,
that.
from when you had it in the compound?
Oh, no.
Oh,
No, from when
okay.
we ordered it.
I see.
Funnily enough, my last one sold really quickly as soon as this one arrived. Funny that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be doing a deal like that you might have done on this one.
No, you might not get such a good deal on this one, but come and drive it. Honestly, it's so good. You know, if you're into your cars, if you're into your Volkswagens, just come and drive it. You know, it's excellent. They've done such a good job, and the attention to detail has been really good. I honestly can't fault it.
Thank you so much for watching the video on the GTI TCR today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also please don't leave without subscribing, because I really need to get to that 1,000 subscribers. Plus, if everyone keeps complaining that I need a mic, then I need to get to 1,000 so that I can monetize my video and start making some money.
Paid channel.
Click subscribe. But thank you so much for Joe, obviously, for lending me his
No
TCR
problem.
today so that we could go out and have a drive. And of course, if you are interested in finding anything more out, then this is your man.
Yep, come and see me. If you mention Auto Social, I'll give you an Auto Social discount. I'm not too sure what that is yet, but come and find out.
Is that like Carwow?
No, it's better than Carwow.